Oh, old school RuneScape friends, it is time for another episode of Multi-scape for Noobs. So this episode, we're going to talk about easy accounts to start. So without further ado, thank you for clicking. Hope you enjoy. Hope you get some great value out of this. Let's hop right into it. So this episode will be about easy alt accounts to start. So they're built for low cost, low effort, and high uptime. That's kind of the ones I'm going to focus on today. It's not an exhaustive list. It's just my favorite starters. I could just go look up a list and then make a nice, based off like what the research says and stuff like that. But I want to fire from the hip here from my own personal experience. So I'm going to focus on quick builds and high accessibility so that, if you're not into multi-scape, these are things that you can try out right away and figure out if it's for you quickly. So why this list matters. Sorry, my nose is itchy. Helps you start building multi-scape without overwhelm. So the biggest deterrent to multi-scape, in my opinion, is probably overwhelm. That is the most negative experience I had when doing it. Like looking to scale up, I always, hit that wall and I get overwhelmed. And then, I'm in the moment, or I'm learning a new system, learning a new set of accounts, stuff like that. Just the overwhelm is just unbearable. So this is kind of like to help mitigate that overwhelm because I want people to succeed in multi-scape. So with that being said, your budget, time, and effort all shape what alts make sense to build. So this one is going to be more so for newer players, the smaller bank. You're kind of like maybe 5 mil, 10 mil, 20 mil, 50 mil, and you want to kind of just like upgrade your GP per hour without like a lot of investments, but you got a little bit more money to buy another account, not real world trade, but I mean to use memberships and purchase a membership and then have a second account. These ones would be really good for you to jump into, and or other stuff. With that in mind is what I'm saying, like an easy alt for you to start to increase your GP per hour. Scaling system starts with easy, repeatable accounts because you got to crawl before you walk, and before you run, you got to walk. So you know what I'm saying? Just taking the nice easy steps. It'll really help you out. So free to play versus paid to play, the core difference. So paid to play has higher GP per hour, but it has higher startup costs. So think like time investment, bond maintenance, etc. Bonded alts need 840K to 1 mil a day just to break even. So this is kind of a big deal, I believe. I just want you to note this because when we're looking at alts, you'll see a significant difference in GP per hour, but keep this in mind. So for instance, if you play 8 hours a day, you will need to make 100K an hour for it to even be counted as real profit. So that's with 8 hours a day. It goes higher when you play less. So it becomes a little bit more annoying to manage with bonds. That's why I always try to recommend to people, if you're going to multi-scape and you can afford it, just get it, and you're not going to mass it. You're not going to mass multi-scape. You're not going to no-life it. You just want to make it a part of your repertoire. Just get another membership. It's I mean, most people, you're all 20, most of my audience is 25 to 35 years old. Most of you have full-time jobs doing at least some office work or some factory work or, higher level. You're no longer just a frontline Walmart employee. And even if you are, you might have a few roommates. I feel like there's a lot of ways to skin this cat to make it so that it's feasible. RuneScape's your life. It doesn't hurt to pay for a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Don't be so stingy where you have to use the gold because, so there's one last part here. The main reason why I think it's important for you to pay for membership is because if you're going to use bonds, you're spending more time getting gold than you are getting US dollars. So you save more time by just using money and then just growing your gold up. Plus it'll increase your experience, not losing all of your gold to bonds. Doesn't apply to everybody. If you're like a hardcore RuneScape player and you make millions, hundreds of millions a week like I do, 200 to 400 mil a week, just playing roughly 5 to 6 hours a day. Of course, to the pre-sale down below, if you want to follow in my footsteps and do that, I'm building a course to you could do that same thing, step by step, and save a lot of time. But I'm just saying, if you're not that level, it may not be in your interest to bond. It's more in people's interest to just pay money. Anyway, free-to-play alts shine when the bank is low or time is short. So if you newer players, you have a small bank, might be in your best interest to just get a free-to-play alt online. So let's continue. Consider the total cost. Gold per hour does not equal true value until you count bond plus labor. So if you're going to build a brutal black dragon alt, you will have a lot of labor time, and that labor time has costs. It is cost. You probably heard of opportunity cost and all that other type of stuff. But it takes time. and you might not have the GP to sink all that stuff into it. And, you know, at the end of the grind, this has happened to me. I made multiple alts where at the end of the grind, I'm just like, wow, I hate this. Why did I do that? And then I fucking pissed all my money away. So a Brutal Black Dragon alt might be 1 mil per hour, but not right away. Build for where you're at, not where you want to be. You know, it sounds kind of counterintuitive. You know, you set a huge goal, but when you start off, when you set a goal, you want to also then realize where you're at the same time, and then build for where you're at now, because you need to start assembling the Lego pieces to build up and get to that goal, that long-term high you're feeling from imagining yourself as the richest player in RuneScape and you're giving away a max plat or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, build from where you're at. Be realistic. So free-to-play alt number 1, the Pie Shell Maker. This is a super basic one. I wanted to start off strong because this one is going to be immediately online as soon as you get trade restrictions off. So you get trade unlocked, buy pie dishes, plus dough, combine. Easy to set up with 1 mil starting GP, 300 to 450k per hour with pre-buying and batching. So that's the only caveat with this, is that there's buy limits on pie dishes. If you really want to, you can go find somebody to buy pie dishes. You can do that. You can advertise, whatever. It takes a little bit of extra labor, but the easiest way to get this account online is to just get a slot, pick a pie dish price, and then just slow buy them. Slow buy them, make a bunch of accounts to slow buy them, and then, or just buy them from the all bulks. I'm sure somebody would go fetch it for you. A lot of those people have a lot of accounts for this specific purpose. And then, you know, you can even if you're paying a little bit of a premium on top of the item, most bulkers they're not going to skin you, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can slow buy them, and then you could just easy have a bank stander that just sits there and chills and makes you 300 to 450k per hour, especially if you pre-buy. If you pre-buy, then you can get the best prices for your pastry doughs and stuff like that with a little bit of setup coordination. You can really, really make some money. So the F2P free-to-play alt number 2 is the Pack Buyer. This one's even easier. It's just a little bit, you know, just whatever. So this one essentially is the same as the last account. To get set up, you just buy packs: feathers, jugs, bait, runes, etc. I mean, not etc. These are all 4 of the things you'll buy from the free-to-play stores that will profit money. So when you buy, let the game open them instead of just like you've probably seen free-to-play money-making guides, and I made one myself. Actually, I didn't finish that feather pack, but whatever. I made a short, but you just like spam click as fast as you can. You could open a crap ton, but if you just open 1 pack, the game will open the rest of them for you. And you can get roughly, I did the math myself, I tested it, it's roughly 3,100 packs per hour. So it nets about 230k plus per hour, depending on the item and the market. So like your best one for your highest turnover, as in like being able to sell very quickly, will be feathers at 3. So if you buy them, I think it's like if you fill up your inventory, you can sell the feathers, and it's like it's 75 gold profit per feather pack. Jugs, not 100% sure off the top of my head, but there's profit there. Bait is like similar to feathers. It sells a little bit slower, but it's another item. So there's something you could do. For instance, like if you want to make it a little bit less AFK, you could buy like 10 feathers at a time. Then that increases your profit per pack to 90 GP, but it makes it a lot less AFK. So I like the AFK factor of just buying packs. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Runes too. So the order that you would buy from runes would be fire, air, water, then earth. Sometimes earth and water are a little bit more or less, and then you could buy those and then sell them for 5 at the GE. Sometimes there'll be these anomalies. They happen quite often, actually, where 1 or more elemental rune will start to see a supply shock where the supply plummets, so the demand shoots up, and these items will go to 5 or 6, or they'll go to 7. So when that happens, then you can really use this alt to make yourself a lot more money per hour, because you'll be able to rush to that moneymaker and then make them like over double the amount of money per hour. So just keep that in mind. The free-to-play alt number 3 is the woodcutter. So you can chop, use AFK, or do forestry. So it's up to you. I mean, you want to like be a little bit less AFK, they can do forestry. It really, really increases the GP per hour. AFK is super chill. You can do it anytime, anywhere, on mobile, whatever you want to do. Like what I do is like set up my computer with Google Chrome, which, be careful with Google Chrome. It is within the game rules, but people sometimes get banned using Google Chrome, remote connect, sorry. And I'll have like 4 accounts up, and I'll just periodically use my remote connect, go to my computer, click, and then get an inventory full of logs or whatever, and then, you know, go about my day, whatever. You're just passively doing it throughout the day. You know, trading takes about a week per account passively, or a few days actively. So it's 41k low end for cutting at normally, but if you do forestry, then it shoots it all the way up to 126k per hour. It's nearly 0 APM, nearly 0 actions per minute. So for 41k an hour, it's 0. It's like you click it once and you come back like 5 minutes later, click it again. You know what I'm saying? It's super cheap. It's not the greatest, obviously, for GP, but again, with cost, doesn't take that long to trade. The training's pretty passive, AFK, and it's kind of, I like it. It's nice and relaxing. It's relaxing. It's fun. You can do like 10 accounts pretty dang easily. Sorry, and then I don't know, just go from there. You know, get up to like 90 woodcutting, bond them, make them a whatever different alt. I don't know. Do whatever you want to do. Free-to-play alt number 4 is the Smelter. So I think you can combine, like, you can make like bronze bars and stuff too. I want to include that here because I don't think I made that as one of my alts, but you could smelt like bars, I think, and make money that way as well. So like smelting like, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I should have researched that. Maybe iron bar smelter would be kind of fun. But anyway, level 5 crafting. That's why I included this. Level 5 crafting unlocks the gold necklace, and then with that, just doing goblin diplomacy pretty much gets this account online, and then you could just 64k an hour, just chilling. It stacks well with other alts, so it's like really simple. It's pretty AFK. 64k an hour. Yeah, I'm saying, like, I know it doesn't seem like much, but you know, while you're waiting for your pie dishes to come in, you could just come rotate, do this. Same with the woodcutter. Like your free to play alt could do all those things I said. You could just rotate between all of the different alts. They don't all have to dedicate it to that. You know what I'm saying? It's just these are the activities your alt could be doing. So then our first paid to play alt, I wanted to start here with a potion mixer because level 35 herblore unlocks Toad Flax unfinished, and the GP per hour scales with capital invested here, so just keep that in mind. But you can make 300 to 600k per hour with solid item volume with just making unfinished potions with your potion mixers. Prices vary and stuff like that. That's why I put the huge fluctuation here. It all depends on what you're doing. So you're doing Raynars, you're doing Toad Flax, you're doing whatever. You don't want to really do the low level ones. Just train them up to 35 to get Toad Flax. Toad Flax is where I saw the highest return. But this kind of is in that range, you know what I'm saying? Like what it costs, if you're going to play for like 8 hours a day, the 300k an hour is 200k an hour, so that's still pretty dang good, to 500k an hour. So even if you're only playing not that long, you'd only need to play the account for like 2 hours a day just to get your money back, at least, and to just like make extra profit after that. So like that extra 2 hours after that nets you an extra 1.2 mil. Plus then when you're using that, you can then do other activities as well, like an herb run, or I don't know. Little stuff like that. But the potion mixing is a good base to start like a pay-to-play alt because it's very quickly online. One quest and then 35 or more. Pay-to-play alts 2 and 3 is Fletcher and Smither. I kind of combine them because they're kind of roughly the same thing here. So there's like, you know, like the dart tips are the same thing as like headless arrows. But anyway, headless arrows is like no requirements, and it's 200 to 300k per hour. So that day you get that online, and plus the trade restrictions are off. So you just from Tutorial Island run it to the GE, and this account can immediately start making you 200 to 300k per hour. Headless arrows are always buying and selling. I'm buying them, for instance. If you want to slow sell them at 10, slow sell them at 10. I think it profits was still 9. I'm not 100% sure on the math there. I probably should have checked that, but you can still profit. You just sell it at 10 if you really want to. It doesn't take that long to sell. But there's no requirements. You just show up and you just buy all the stuff and you fucking just get going. There's like, if you need feathers, there's bulkers selling feathers like crazy, bro. If you really want feathers, and this is one of your things, I have 3 accounts buying them right now. Well, actually, it's probably not that enough to like make it worth your guys' time. It's like 3 accounts are buying them. I'm getting like 500k a week or something like that. I don't remember. But like, it's easy. It's easy. It's so easy. Yeah. You can even have them go to the feather store and just purchase 26 and then have them fletch them into headless arrows with your shafts. You know, whatever. Sorry. So then this also ties into dart tips. So with Tourist Trap, the quest Tourist Trap, and a little bit of smithing, you can get into dart tips and then make 290 to 400k an hour really, really cheap. So like bronze makes the most for some reason. Iron and steel. Well, I think steel might actually. But they're doing phenomenal. Like these 3 are doing good. 290 to 400k an hour. Super AFK, pays off the bond plus profit if you're playing a lot. So it's the same thing as the potion mixer. Very low requirements. It'll be a good base for you to just like work into it and just grow your bank up before you want to do other stuff. So this is the GOAT, okay? So I saved the best for last. The GOAT is a flipping alt, okay? Applies to both free-to-play and pay-to-play. Scales with knowledge, 30K a day per play, 30K plus profit a day free-to-play, and 80K plus profit a day with pay-to-play with minimal effort. My top picks, easy peasy. So I'll just tell you right now, if you're free-to-play alt, Elemental Runes, Pure Essence, Mind Runes, Feathers, Thread. Those items right there, you buy them at their low price, sell them at their high price, 30K a day. Paid to play. The reason why it's 80K a day is because it's like 2.66 times the amount of, let me pull the calculator out. So 3 divided by 8. So then, yeah, so 63% more. You get 63% more slots with a paid. So you could just apply that and then take that to 30 and then blam, 80K a day with no effort. You could do Elemental Runes. You could do Mithril Darts at 5. I always tell everybody who's asking me, what do I flip to start? Never flipped before. Mithril Darts at 5, sell them at 6 or 7. Ancient Essence at 9, buy them at 9, sell them for 10. Get a Fire Rune for 4, Water Rune for 4, Air Rune for 4, Earth Rune for 4, sell them at 5. Pure Essence for 1, sell them at 2. Mind Runes at 3, sell them at 4. There you go. Now you have any alt that you have will make this kind of money. There's other items out there too that you just want to do the bare minimum amount of research, as in like going to my Discord, click the link down below. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, ask what flip, and then somebody will get back to you. You know, we have an active community of people who are really helpful with new people. We're growing every single day. Easy peasy. You don't even got to look up anything on the wiki. Look up a single chart. Just be like, hey guys, what should I try? What should I try? What price? And somebody will tell you. Every single alt can be a flipper. It's free profit and it's infinitely scalable. So like all of these things I was talking about before, this smelter here, 64K plus 30K a day. So if you're only playing a couple hours a day, you're getting 30K a day. 30K a day. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up really, really fast. 30K a day. Let me pull out that calculator. 30K times 365. 10 mil a year. It sounds like crap, but it's free. And that's just like the bare minimum is what I'm saying. Like it's shit. Sure, it's shit. 10 mil a year is shit. But 1 year, you're going to play RuneScape for a year, aren't you? You're going to play it for a year. So you're going to get 10 more mil just for having one alt, okay? 10 more mil on top. Like with literally, if you do it, you could check them once a week. And you won't have to check them. You'll just put the offer in if you put like 5 or 10 mil on an alt and you just put the offer in. You just play and then it'll just buy over time and you check it and then 7 seconds for a free to play and then like 21 seconds for a free to play and then like 40 seconds for a pay to play. And then you do that again after 4 months and then blam, you made mils. Okay, anyway. And there's better picks out there. I'm just giving you the bare minimum so that I'm just telling you items that I know you'll profit on so you won't lose money because I don't want you running back to me saying like, you told me to flip this and you lost it because you're a noob or whatever. That's what I'm saying. There you go. So here's the wrap up of what to do next. So build cheap, repeatable alts, get your multi-scape going, match all types to your time, bank, and lifestyle. Start slow, build up over time, just like going to the gym. When you go to the gym, you don't put 500 pounds on the bench press and try to bench press it. You start with the bar if you've never lifted weights before. And then you add 5 pounds the next time you bench. Then you add 5 pounds the next time you bench. So you just keep going up progressively, start slow. If you take your ego out of it, that's how you want to get good at the gym. Maybe find your limits, but then start with a half your max, whatever, the bar, and then slowly progress so that you can just keep the progression going, keep the consistency going. It's the same thing. Start slow, build up over time. Starting slow too, because multi-scapers get banned, okay? Be warned, multi-scapers get banned, so start slow. Hope you watch the whole video. It starts slow. See how Jagex bans your accounts. If they don't, build more. And if they don't, build more. Keep scaling up until they start banning them, because eventually they will just start banning you. Then you go, okay, out of this 10 I made, they banned 1. So now I'll just go back to making 5 at a time. Or whatever, or at least you'll know. Or you can push through it. It's all circumstantial. It all depends on your situation, etc., etc. Buy my course. I'll be walking through all that type of stuff, all these types of things. My course is going to have so much value in it. So thanks for watching. Subscribe for more education on how to make the most GP physically possible. Check out the links down below. Course is on pre-sale for $49. The best system to build and scale a flipping empire step by step. Time saved is money made, and I will save you a boatload of time. 30-day money back. Guarantee extended after the course is released. So pre-sale, working on it. It's going to take me a couple more weeks. Yeah. No risk to you. But it's going to be 30 days after it's released. So when you pre-buy, forever. You want your money back, no questions asked, bam. But then after the course is released, you'll still have 30 days. And then Gumroad also offers a 90-day money-back guarantee, so you don't even have to trust me. Okay, so thanks for watching. Have a nice day.